the Secretary General to make his statement. Secretary General.
Thank you, sir. Honorable General Edward Katumba Wamala, Minister of Works, Transport and Republic of Uganda, and also Chair of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers, Honorable James Macharia, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, Urban Development and Public Works, Republic of Kenya, Honorable Fred Atupele Makibete, MP, Deputy Minister, representing the Honorable Professor Makame Barawa, MP, Minister of Works, Transport and Communication, United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Frank Mseba Tayali, MP, Minister of Transport and Logistics, Republic of Zambia, Honorable Maria Chandal Njibire, Minister of Trade, Transport and Tourism, Republic of Burundi, Honorable Kende Senga Sherbin, Minister of Transport of Democratic Republic of Congo, Honorable Jacob Ara, Minister of Transport and Public Works, Republic of Malawi, Honorable His Excellency Aton Grant, Minister of Transport and Republic of Seychelles, Honorable Madut Pierre Yen, Minister of Transport and Roads, Republic of South Sudan, Engineer Jeremy Sere, Director General of Ethiopia Maritime Authority Affairs and proxy to the Minister of Transport, Federal Government of Republic of Ethiopia, Mr. Krishna Jel Rasing, Managing Director, Mauritius Shipping Corporation Limited, and proxy to the Honorable Minister of Blue Economy, Marine Resources, Fisheries and Shipping, Republic of Mauritius, Honorable Mr. Unit Mustafa, Director of Mozambique Maritime Authority, and proxy to Deputy Minister, Minister of Transport and Communication, Republic of Mozambique, representatives of regional maritime port institutions and the key industry stakeholders, institutions present here, members of the Coordination Committee, members of the Technical Committee of Finance and Administration of ISCOS, members of the Secretariat of ISCOS, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I want to take this opportunity to thank our Almighty God for giving us an opportunity to enjoy life and to be alive this morning and be part of this meeting. I also want to take the opportunity to thank the Republic of Uganda, of course, under the leadership of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of this Republic, and my Minister of Works and Transport, General Edward Katumba, who is the chair of ISCOS, and also the people of Uganda for the culture's reception that we have enjoyed so far since we landed in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, we are aware that 90% of our international trade by volumes, that's export and imports, in the region is transported by sea. We also know that a big percentage of this consignment is carried by foreign ships owned by foreign shipping lines and in many cases operated by foreign citizens. We are also aware that when it comes to the cost of shipping, then in many cases, these shipping lines decide what to charge without consulting our importers and exporters or even our governments. The result of that is that we continue as a region to pay a lot of money to out of this region in form of foreign currency, money that can be used to develop this region. It is an understanding of that fact that the founding members of ISCOS, that is the Republic of Kenya, the Republic of Uganda, United Republic of Tanzania, and Republic of Zambia, decided to come together to form the Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping, also known as ISCOS, way back in 1967. We also know that these people came in mainly because they also realized that when we are dealing with shipping lines, the region, whether you're in Kenya, whether you're in Uganda, whether you're in Zambia, is treated as a common zone by the shipping lines. So the cost that is incurred by the people in Kenya is also incurred by the people in Uganda. And then none of these people is able to address or to stand up and challenge or negotiate with these shipping lines alone. And despite that fact, then, as a region, we have ports, the coastal states, and those of us who are landing rely on those ports to import and export. Equally important, those ports rely on the inland states as their customers. On top of that, there is, or there was need to put up structures that will be able to build capacity for the region. How do we build capacity for the region? How do we have the interest of the landing states addressed when decisions at the cost of towns or cities are made? These are the main reasons why the founding fathers found it necessary to set up this organization. So, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, with that, can I please, with your permission, just take a few minutes to state how ISCOS works and mandate ISCOS. After the formation of ISCOS, the member states gave ISCOS the mandate to promote and protect member states' interest in shipping and maritime. They were also mandated to promote efficiency and competitiveness shipping services in the region, give advisories to the governments on national, maritime, and regional policy, harmonization, and liberalization matters, undertake research and studies that guides their advisories, mitigate upon unfavorable pricing mechanisms applied by shipping lines, and trade through negotiations, collaborations with all key stakeholders, and build capacity through establishment and strengthening of the shippers' councils in the region. Now, the Secretariat, having been given that mandate by the members, operates mainly using 4 principles. That is the principle of consultation. We consult all the stakeholders in the industry, all the public, the private, and the donor and development partners when it comes to issues of cost of shipping to the region. We collaborate with these stakeholders mainly through engaging in a structured forum. Our desire as ISCOS is that we are funded by the governments, and we would not want to do projects that are also funded by the region, and they are also being done by other government organizations. So we engage with our partners, come up with a memorandum of understandings of operations, and agree on the structures of engagement when we are delivering our mandate. So far, I'm happy to note that we have signed a number of MOUs with some of the stakeholders seated in this room, including the Lake Tanganyika Authority. We have an MOU with the Lake Tanganyika Authority on how we operate as together along Lake Tanganyika. We have an MOC with the African Union of Shippers Council, mainly agreeing on how we work together as organizations at the continental level. We have an MOU with Kentrade, mainly to do research and come up with data that forms part of our decisions when it comes to the region. We also have an MOU with the peer services on the provision of container guarantee solutions in the region. We are working on MOUs with the PAMESA, Maritime Organization of West Africa, Association of Maritime Administration, and Association of African Maritime Administrations, and many others. We also use another principle of advocacy. So wherever we go, the meetings we attend to, we advocate for fairness in shipping, maritime, and trade logistics with our stakeholders and partners. Finally, we use the principle of advisory. This is that we cannot sort out at the operational level, then we do advisories to the government to make decisions. And in most cases, at ISCOS, we are under the ministry responsible for transport, shipping, and maritime in our member states. And that's why you see the ministers we have today are mainly from that ministry, and even our neighbors, our neighboring members are also from those ministries. For instance, one of our latest advisory to the region was on the area of marine cargo insurance. ISCOS carried out research and realized that the region was losing or paying out over USD 500 million per annum to the foreign-owned insurance companies. And therefore, we did an advisory to our member states, and I'm happy to report that out of that advisory, 4 of our member states have localized the marine cargo insurance: Republic of Kenya, Republic of Uganda, United Republic of Tanzania, and Republic of Zambia is finalizing the rollout of marine cargo localization in Zambia. We are also aware as a region and as an organization that between, or using the figures of 2019, in the region, in terms of freight services, the Indian Ocean region from the Mediterranean, that is Djibouti, to South Africa, more than US $22.2 billion as freight. As ISCOS, we think this is something of concern to the region, and this money should be circulating within our economies. Therefore, we have started an initiative and we are working on our program that we will find out more details on what can we do as a region, as member states, to get a pie of this cake which is being paid to the foreigners. I'm aware that our brothers from DRC have been trying to get a pie of this through localization of traffic lights, but I've encountered a number of challenges, mainly in our ports, because of our lack of a regional policy when it comes to handling such things. So these are some of the things we are looking at as ISCOS. How can we come together and develop policies and programs that can help the region be involved in freight, that is shipping, and get payment or part of that money we are paying out of this region. Honorable Minister, with those remarks, I also want to take a few minutes just to mention some of the programs we are running in the region as ISCOS. We have a forum for regional maritime administration, which we call reform. And this forum brings together all the maritime authorities like Kenya Maritime Authority, TASAC, Ethiopia Maritime Authority, Inman, Mozambique, and the rest, together just to discuss issues of common interest when it comes to regulation of shipping and maritime, the region. We also have a program for regional maritime safety and security, because we know without security, then trade cannot take place. Therefore, that forum brings together security agencies, navies, coast guards in the region to deliberate on pertinent issues that are affecting the region. And therefore, out of those programs, they come up with solutions which can sometimes implement at the levels, or we pick them and escalate them to the governments. We also have a forum for stakeholders facilitation, trade facilitation along the inland waterways, particularly Lake Victoria and Lake Tanganyika, which brings together all the stakeholders involved in movement across the lakes. Another program we are running is the continuous monitoring of emergency issues. We do monitor what is happening. For instance, when COVID-19 came in, we have been monitoring, and out of that, as an organization, we have developed electronic platforms to assist people in the region to manage or to continue normal operations. We have developed a electronic platform known as ShipLink, which now is used by business people to report issues on an issue on non-tariff issues or bottlenecks that they encounter in the process of cargo delivery. And then we have a team from our secretariat which receives all issues and has a database of all the ministries, agencies concerned in this area, and therefore we are able to pick those issues on a one-on-one basis and be able to have them sorted. A point in case is that we got a complaint from one of our customers in Uganda in regard to a delay which occurred to their cargoes at the port of Mombasa, and through the engagement of ISCOS and the consultations with all the authorities, that cargo has stayed in the port for over a year with over a bill of over $10,000 USD. And after discussions, that customer got a waiver and was able to pay just a small percentage of that money and clear their cargo from the port. Now, having said that, please, honorable ministers, ladies and gentlemen, let me say something about the need for greater collaboration and hence the purpose of inviting our neighbors and our regional members plus regional maritime authorities. In this forum, as my colleagues has mentioned, we have invited the main ministries who are the policy makers. We have invited the maritime authorities who are operational. We have invited the port authorities, the shippers councils, the freight forwarders, everybody in the industry, because we need to talk about greater collaboration. Now, as a continent, we are moving towards implementation of African Continental Free Trade Area, an agreement which came in force last year. We know shipping and trade plays a big role in facilitation of trade. And therefore, we are looking at how do we play a bigger role as a region in the implementation of African Maritime Transport Charter and facilitation of African Free Trade Area. And that is why we called you together, so that we can be able to reason as a group and be able to agree on the way forward on our participation in this particular initiative. Therefore, to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I want to emphasize that regional collaboration is very critical and as a way forward. We cannot manage any longer to do things individually. We must work our team as a team. How we do it, that is upon this forum and others to decide and agree upon. Chair, with those many remarks, allow me just to mention some of our stakeholders who are here with us, and because of the interest of time, I know they would want to say a lot what we are doing with them, but because of the interest of time, brothers and sisters, I just beseech you to allow us, take recognition of you. Of course, we'll be having a lot of informal consultation, but we might not have a forum to say what we are doing with you. Allow me to speak on your behalf for this matter. So we have representatives from East African Community. We have Mr. James Kifuva. We have Northern Corridor. We have the CEO, Mr. Manya Randi, is in the room. We have Lake Tanganyika Authority, being represented by Mr. Luwali. We have the Lapsset Corridor, being represented by Mr. Norman Muraya. East African Union Shippers Council, we have the CEO, Mr. Gola Lillian. We have Kenya Maritime Authority, the CEO, Mr. Robert Jewell. We have Kentrade, being represented by the Director of Trade Facilitation, Mr. David Garama. We have Tanzania Shippers, TASAC Shipping Corporation, being represented by our brother CPS Luo. We have Uganda Insurance Association, Mr. Paul Kapuma. We have Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda, Madam Barbara is in the house. We have Pension and Insurance Regulation Authority of Zambia, Madam Isaso Musonda is the house. Shippers Council of East Africa, we have Mr. Gilbert Rangat, the CEO. Shippers Council of Uganda, Mr. Charles Kareba, the chairman. Zambia Cargo and Logistics Limited, Zamcargo, we have Mr. David Chimwebwe. Federation of East African Freight Forwarders, we have Fred Seka. Then Burundi Coast and Maritime Authority, we have Mr. Joaquin Birgimana. We also have TPA, Mr. Eric Misi, the Managing Director. We have Uganda Clearing and Forwarding Industry, Mr. Alex. We have Kasita, Mr. Ben Nsinginye, and we have Uganda Freight Forwarders Association. Chair, with those marks, I beg to submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Secretary General. Honorable members in the room, we are now going to have some short presentations from our honorable ministers from the member states. And I will start off with a statement from the honorable minister from the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Macharia.
Thank you very much, General Edward Katuba Wamara, Minister of Works and Transport of the Republic of Uganda, and the new chair of ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. In the interest of time, allow me to collectively recognize all the ministers present without having to mention their names individually. Senior government officials, the Secretary General, Management and Staff, ISCOS, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. As the outgoing chairman of ISCOS, I'm honored to join you all today at this memorable meeting of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. On behalf of the Kenyan delegation, I wish to appreciate the government of the Republic of Uganda for their gracious hospitality in hosting us in this beautiful country. I pay tribute to the people of the Republic of Uganda for the warm welcome accorded to all delegations upon our arrival in Uganda. Let's applaud our hosts. Honourable Ministers, the shipping and maritime agenda is of great importance not only to ISCOS member states, but also to other countries in the greater Central, Eastern, and Southern Africa. As such, during the 6th Assembly of Ministers that was held in Mwanza, Tanzania in 2019, we resolved to invite other countries in the region to this assembly and to start a dialogue on how we can enhance collaboration to the benefit of our national economies. I would like to thank all the countries represented here today for honoring our invitations. Distinguished delegates, regional cooperation is vital to the effective and efficient utilization of our oceans and inland waterways, as these are shared among several states. As a regional organization charged with the mandate of promoting our shipping and maritime interests, ISCOS plays a key role in ensuring that we have a harmonized approach towards addressing shared issues and challenges in the region. We highly appreciate the role which ISCOS continues to play in championing the mutual shipping and maritime interests of the member states. ISCOS has created platforms such as the Regional Forum for Maritime Administrators for exchanging information and best practices. During such forums, member states also compare policies on pertinent matters touching on our shipping and maritime interests. The Regional Forum on Maritime Safety and Security, which brings together stakeholders concerning maritime security in the region, has proved vital in ensuring regional states upskill their navies and coast guards and address cross-cutting maritime security issues. In the same breath, the Consultative Forum for Regional Maritime Training Institutions is assisting our schools and colleges to enhance their role in building blue careers. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya is implementing a number of initiatives towards enhancing the contribution of the blue economy. We have recently established a modern shipyard to support maritime transport operations. The commissioning of the Kenya Shipyard Limited has provided Kenya and the region as a whole with a competitive advantage in shipbuilding and maritime engineering. We have also inaugurated 2 maritime training schools in Mombasa and Kisumu, which train seafarers for the international job market. Kenya neighbors 5 landlocked countries whose principal routes for exports and imports are through the port of Mombasa. The Kenyan government has therefore invested heavily in enhancing the quality and reliability of our infrastructure in a bid to transform our landlocked neighbors into land-linked countries. We have undertaken several infrastructure developments along the northern corridor, from the Indian Ocean coast to the Ugandan border, in the Lamu Port, Southern Sudan, Ethiopia corridor, or LAPSET. As part of these initiatives, we have expanded the port of Mombasa and built a new port in Lamu at the Indian Ocean coast. To reduce the time and the cost of moving goods from Indian Ocean coast to neighboring countries, we have built a new standard gauge railway from Mombasa to inland ports of Nairobi and Naivasha. We have also revamped the meter gauge railway to the Ugandan border and to Kisumu and the shores of Lake Victoria. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we move towards greater economic integration, I wish to appeal for closer working relations between ISCOS and the East African Community and the Southern Africa Development Community and COMESA. This will ensure that shipping and maritime sectors adequately support the trade integration agenda. Indeed, shipping and maritime operations will be critical to the success of the newly formed African Continental Trade Area. Honourable Ministers, I would like to appreciate ISCOS for the law it has played in domesticating marine cargo insurance. This initiative has so far translated to the retention of premiums of around $500 million per annum in the 4 ISCOS member states alone. I encourage the member states that are still walking this journey to hasten their efforts so that the region does not continue losing these much needed resources. Africa's participation in the shipping industry is hampered by the continent's low fleet ownership. We continue to rely on vessels that are owned by non-Africans for trade within Africa. I call upon all African countries to work towards a situation where African-built, crewed, and owned vessels dominate the transportation of African-made products, not only within Africa, but also to all corners of the world. Distinguished delegates, 90% of the trade between our countries is carried out by sea. However, Eastern, Central, and Southern African countries do not have a common regional maritime policy. We are therefore not fully in control of our sector, which leaves us open to exploitation by external players. The presence of so many countries at this assembly demonstrates that we recognize the importance of a collaboration in shipping and maritime and logistics. We should work together to develop a continent-wide mechanism for collaboration aimed at safeguarding our maritime interests. And now to the members of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to you for the support you have given me during the 2 years I have served as the chair of ISCOS. I also would like to appreciate the Secretariat for the excellent work that it continues to carry out on behalf of the member states. I urge all member states to extend their unwavering support to my successor so that ISCOS continues to promote the interests of its member states effectively. As I conclude my remarks, I once again wish to thank the government of Uganda for hosting us here today. I also thank the Secretary General of ISCOS and his team for their commendable efforts in promoting and protecting the interests of the region. It is my hope that one of the outcomes of this momentous gathering will be resolutions aimed at establishing mechanisms of ensuring and enhancing collaboration in the shipping and maritime sectors across the greater eastern, central, and southern region. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Macharia. We're now going to get remarks from the United Republic of Tanzania. Honorable Minister.
Honorable General Edward Katumba Wamala, Minister of Works and Transport of the United Republic of Uganda and the new chair of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers, Honorable James Wainama Macharia, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, Urban Development and Public Works, Republic of Kenya, and outgoing chair of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers, Honorable Frank Museba Tayari, Member of Parliament, Minister of Transport and Logistics of the Republic of Zambia, and a member of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers, honorable invited ministers, Minister of Trade, Transport, Industry and Tourism, Republic of Burundi, Minister of Transport and Public and Works of the Republic of Burundi, Minister of Transport and Ways of Communications of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Director General, Maritime Authority of the Federal Republic of Ethiopia, Minister responsible for Transport, Republic of Malawi, Minister of Transport and Communications of the Republic of Mozambique, Minister of Transport of the United Republic of South Sudan, Minister of Transport of the Republic of Seychelles, Minister of Blue Economy, Marine Resources, Fisheries and Shipping of the Republic of Mauritius, Mr. Daniel Mwanza Kiange, Secretary General of ISCOS, Chief Executives of the various stakeholders and institutions of the region, representatives of the regional economic commissions, stakeholders of the shipping and maritime industry, development partners, and representative of the maritime, shipping, and logistics institutions present. Members of the press, distinguished participants, all protocols observed. Good morning to you all. Chairman, members of Assembly, and distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to start by thanking Almighty God for keeping us alive and for giving us health, strength, and opportunity to meet and discuss issues of our common interest for the benefits of our member states and the region at large. I bring to you greetings from Tanzania with our beloved President, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan. Secondly, I would like to thank the host of this meeting for a warm welcome I received from the airport to the hotel and the venue of this meeting. Generally, I appreciate the hospitality of the organizers and the people of Uganda for their hospitality. Chairman, members of Assembly, and distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Professor Makame Mnyambarawa, the Minister of Works and Transport in the United Republic of Tanzania, I am privileged and honored to have this opportunity of presenting the statement of the United Republic of Tanzania to the 7th ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. Chairman, members of Assembly, and distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to be part of this important meeting of the highest organ of ISCOS. From the onset, I wish to take note of the presence of our counterpart ministers from our neighboring states and take this opportunity to appreciate their attendance despite their busy schedules and other pressing matters at their home countries. Your attendance to this meeting signifies the value and the importance you attach to collaborations and togetherness. Chairman, members of Assembly, and distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, we are here and we are all aware that maritime transport, which consists of oceans, sea, and inland waterways, is the major and the cheapest mode of transport due to its higher carrying capacity which lowers the unit cost. The maintenance cost of maritime transport as a conveyor is very low compared to road and railway transport, which must look after and improve all the time. However, it is also a mode that cuts across political boundaries, traversing nations and continents. It is also a highly technical area which requires operational and managerial expertise. The formation of ISCOS by states in the region was out of this realization and the need to have regionally coordinated approaches to matters of shipping and trade facilitation. As a region, we can agree that we have not fully exploited the competitive cost of maritime transport, and we shall, looking forward to benefiting the expertise and experience of ISCOS in providing technical guidance and support. I wish to commend ISCOS on her advisory role. Members were advised on the need to enforce maritime cargo insurance laws which prohibit offshore marine cargo insurance cover for their imports. I wish to report that Tanzania started its implementation from January 2018 by making amendments on the Insurance Act. Although the pace of implementation by local insurance is still low, we are making steady progress in this area and trying to remove all teething issues which came as a result of a new idea. I urge the Secretariat of ISCOS to continue coordinating and providing technical support to our regional and local insurance firms together with their stakeholders in their efforts to ensure MCI domestication becomes a success story in the region. Chairman, members of Assembly and distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, as we move from land transport to maritime transport for the first resource in the blue economy, we should note that our major water bodies are shared by different states. For example, Lake Victoria, which is the largest lake in Africa and the second largest in the world, is shared by the United Republic of Tanzania, the United Republic of Uganda, and the United Republic of Kenya. Lake Tanganyika is shared by the United Republic of Tanzania, the Republic of Zambia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Republic of Burundi. In addition, Lake Nyasa, which is shared by the United Republic of Tanzania, the Republic of Malawi, and the Republic of Mozambique. Therefore, joint efforts among adjoining states are required in harnessing the blue economy equitably and sustainably. For example, transport on Lake Victoria will flourish if Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya inland ports are concurrently developed and maintained to handle some vessels at the same level of efficiency, because of inefficiency on one port will negatively impact other ports. I repeat, for example, transport on Lake Victoria will flourish if Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya inland ports are concurrently developed and maintained to handle same vessels at the same level of efficiency, but because of inefficiency on one port will negatively impact other ports. I wish to commend ISCOS for convening the stakeholders forum for the facilitation of shipping and trade across Lake Tanganyika, at which some issues hindering seamless flow of goods and passengers are deliberated. Chairman, members of Assembly and distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania as a coastal state has continued to provide passage and facilitate the movement of transit goods through ports and along the corridor. We have implemented the Dar es Salaam Maritime Gateway Project, DMGP, which involved deepening and strengthening of berth, the construction of new multipurpose berth at Gerezani Creek, deepening and widening the entrance channel and turning basin in the port, and improving the railway linkages and the platform in the port. Apart from Dar es Salaam port, we have expanded Mtwara port and rehabilitated the Tanga port by increasing equipment and dredging to bring the ships at quite reducing operational costs at outer anchorage. These projects are aimed at doubling the throughput capacity, reducing vessels' waiting time and the berth occupants while increasing operational productivity. Tanzania is committed to continue serving the transit markets better. I urge ISCOS to continue sensitizing importers and exporters to clear their cargo timely to avoid congestion port yards. Chairman, members of Assembly and distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, no state in her own capacity can manage international maritime business alone because of its nature. As coastal states, we can only facilitate the transit movement of cargo and manage operational issues. When it comes to regional policy, matters of dealing with the multinational services providers, we need to be together to manage the security of our maritime bodies and facilities. We need to be together to develop our capacity in the sector because it requires enormous resources. It is the first step which is most important, and that first step is our appreciation of the importance of working together and working together. Ladies and gentlemen, before winding up my speech, I wish to express my gratitude to the Coordination Committee for the proper preparation of this meeting. I also wish to congratulate the Secretariat General, Mr. Kianga, and his team for the value-adding programs which have been implemented during the intervening period. I congratulate and appreciate Kenya for steering well our organization for the period of 2 years. I congratulate you, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, for the work well done. Finally, I would like to thank the host country, Uganda, for the warm reception and for hosting us today. I may quote a wise person once said, and I quote from our President, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan of the United Republic of Tanzania. She said, "One alone will go faster, but together will go far." Kindly invited states of this meeting, you are warmly welcome to join with this ISCOS. And with these few remarks, I thank you for your attention and once again pray for the successful meeting. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Honorable Frede Atupere Makibete from the United Republic of Tanzania. Let's get remarks now from Honorable Frank Museba Tayari, MP, Minister of Transport and Logistics of the Republic of Zambia. The floor is yours, sir.
Mr. Chairman, who also happens to be the Honorable General Edward Katumba Wamala, the Minister of Works and Transport of the Republic of Uganda, and also Chair of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. Permit me, Mr. Chairman, to ride on the protocols that have already been established in the interest of time. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am indeed very happy to be with you here in Entebbe, Uganda, after so many hours of flying and layovers from Lusaka, Zambia. As the Minister responsible for transport, we should always find ways and means of making our countries more connected and enable our people to move and interact easily. Before I go any further, Mr. Chairman, I wish to thank the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport of the Republic of Uganda for the warm reception that you have accorded me and the entire Zambian delegation since our arrival in this beautiful and historic city of Entebbe. As I deliver my maiden speech to this, the 7th meeting of Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping, allow me to thank Honorable James W. Macharia, EGH, Minister of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development of the Republic of Kenya, for successfully chairing the organization for the past 2 years. This he has done successfully despite the challenges encountered during the COVID-19 pandemic. May I also congratulate Uganda and wish you well as you will now take over the chairmanship of this great organization for the next 2 years. Honorable Chairman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as you are all aware, Zambia just ushered in the new Dawn administration after the August 2021 general elections. Therefore, I wish on behalf of the Zambian people to thank you all for your congratulatory messages and for your prayers as we went through our elective process. Our President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, made it very clear in his inaugural speech to the nation that Zambia will strengthen its relationship with strategic partners in our quest for economic development. To this effect, we shall explore all avenues to ensure that we benefit from strategic alliances, and my presence here today is evidence of our desire to collaborate with regional partners. Honorable Chairman, I am aware that the Republic of Kenya will be going to the polls in August 2022. In this regard, we wish them a peaceful and successful electoral process. It is our fervent prayer that God's countenance shall shine with favor on the people of Kenya. Mr. Chairman, Zambia is not an island, and our membership both to regional and intercontinental international organizations is very critical. Therefore, we have to ensure the accrual of economic benefits from the regional and international alliances for the benefit of our people. This makes me duty-bound to explain to the Zambian people the benefits that are derived from ISCOS as opposed to other organizations that we may belong to. Mr. Chairman, from what I have gathered, ISCOS has made commendable strides and savings to the economies of member states through a domiciling of marine cargo insurance that will save member states the externalization of the hard-earned United States dollars. This will result in Zambia retaining about 100 million United States dollars per annum on imports alone. ISCOS has also made interventions on vessel delay surcharges and other unjustifiable charges imposed by overseas shipping lines, use of container guarantees instead of container deposits, capacity building of importers and exporters, enabling them to expedite their business in accordance with international best practices, to mention but a few. While this is commendable, I am urging the Secretary General of ISCOS and other member states to help Zambia have access to all the services that the organization provides, as this will help to reduce the cost of doing trade and thus facilitate development. Honorable Chair, ladies and gentlemen, from the foregoing, it is easy to state that one of the critical roles of ISCOS is trade facilitation. In this regard, ISCOS should serve the land-linked countries by ensuring that the seaports are efficient. You will appreciate that the more efficient the seaports are, the more the costs to the land-linked countries like Zambia will be beneficial. Just like corruption, inefficiency is always a cost that is paid for by the consumers, and the greatest adverse impact is felt by the poorest of our nationals. I therefore wish to earnestly appeal to ISCOS that it superintends over the efficiency of seaports where member countries trade passes through. Zambia, being surrounded by 8 neighbors and beyond, depends on the goodwill of these countries for the smooth movement of our people, goods, and services. In this regard, I wish to appeal to ISCOS to consider working with others to level the playing field in any way possible among member states that serve or share borders that have trade routes traversing each other's territories. I'm saying this because as a country, we have experienced a lot of tariff and non-tariff barriers, especially along road transport corridors. Mr. Chairman, I wish to urge the ISCOS secretaries to begin considering the subscriptions from member states as seed money. The organization should start investing in the sale of advisory services on the maritime and shipping international market. The institution can also aggressively begin to bid to carry out consultancy services to earn money. In addition, the organization should consider the production of periodicals and floating of project proposals to attract grants from cooperating partners. Global warming and the blue economy, if properly understood, could provide opportunities for project proposals that could raise money for the organization. Honorable Mr. Chairman, the issue of the revised administrative manuals has been brought to my attention. I will ensure that they are reviewed and will get back to the secretaries at the earliest possible time. I am also aware of Zambia's outstanding contributions. Zambia has started making contributions towards the dismantling of the debt and will endeavor to continue doing so. Mr. Chairman, allow me to thank the Secretary General of ISCOS and his entire team for the hard work and good organization of the meetings. I am particularly impressed by the number of invited ministers of transport and others who have joined us in this Assembly of Ministers meeting as observers. May I take this opportunity to welcome you all to this meeting and hope that we will contribute positively to ISCOS. Mr. Chairman, it is my hope that today this meeting will achieve the objective for which we are gathered here. I thank you and may God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister from Zambia. Thank you very much. We are going to proceed as follows, honorable members in the room. I'm going to make my statement, after which we shall launch the platform, the ISCOS Trade Facilitation e-platform. I will also give 2 to 3 minutes to each of the visiting ministers to make a few remarks. If this conference has made sense to you, just make a few remarks so that you don't just attend as observers, but possibly you make a few remarks of what your take is. And I don't intend to have this meeting go beyond 2, so I will call upon each one who will be called to the podium to be very observant of time. With those, let me now proceed to make my statement. Protocol has already been observed, and we have talked about a lot about the protocol, so I will not go over the protocols again. Allow me to go straight to the gist of my statement. Honorable ministers and all representatives, I've already welcomed you to Entebbe. I've already welcomed you to this country, and I've also made a request that you take time off and relax. That's why I don't want to take this meeting beyond 2, so that we can afford you the afternoon to relax on the beach. Honorable ministers, we all know that almost 90% of our international trade is moved by sea, handled by various multinational service providers, and subjected to policies, conditions, and practices which each of us as individual countries cannot effectively handle. I wish us to honor the wisdom and foresightedness of the founding fathers of ISCOS. These were the late Mzee Milton Obote of Uganda, the late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya, the late Mzee Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, and the late Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia. May their souls rest in peace. As early as 1967, these gallant sons of Africa knew that shipping and maritime matters are cross-border international, and they are complex. If you look at that vessel on the screen, you may find that vessel flying a Brazilian flag. The captain may be from Singapore. The crew may be from Korea. The cargo could belong to Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. That vessel may be piloted on one of the coasts of the continent and to anchor in the waters of Kenya. Who is the owner? Very complex situation. So it requires more than just an individual to address such matters. It's also capital intensive. We have a full room here. I don't know how many of member states in the room own sea vessels. So, and therefore, they found it inevitable to form ISCOS, not only to protect, but also to promote and coordinate their shipping and maritime interests, and to carry out various functions on their behalf. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, we also agree that benefit from the global networks and partnerships is not by receiving handouts and donations from our overseas colleagues. And I think many of them are fatigued about us putting our hands out for handouts, but rather through international trade and commerce, which our continent is highly endowed. As developing nations, shipping and maritime transport can no longer be a peripheral issue to our economies. It's a centerpiece. Distinguished guests, Uganda, being a land-linked state, largely relies on the ports of Mombasa in Kenya and Dar es Salaam in Tanzania as the main gateways for export and imports. We have no direct interface with multinational service providers like shipping lines. Like many states, some of which I see here seated on the table, in the region and indeed in Africa, Uganda does not own ships operating on the high seas. Neither does it have direct access to the operations there. Yet, our international trade largely moves by sea. In that case, ISCOS has represented our shipping interests, like negotiating favorable shipping terms, mitigating adverse shipping policies, averting hefty and unjustified surcharges, and advising us on the best means by which to manage and contain shipping costs. ISCOS also helps us to have a technical interface with our coastal neighbors, and also helps us understand their shipping policies, which are enacted from time to time. As a young maritime nation, Uganda continues to build our capacity for the maritime sector, and we do appreciate the regional and international collaborations which ISCOS provides, especially in the developing the maritime policies, promotion of maritime training, and enhancement of the capacity for the shipping and maritime sector. In terms of capacity building, ISCOS has helped us to form a Shippers Council and continue to run sensitization programs which help our private sector to be up to date with the best international shipping practices. We also acknowledge the collaborative efforts ISCOS carried out with the various stakeholders in repressing the piracy menace which was disrupting international trade and tourism to the region. In the line of implementing ISCOS advisories, I am happy to report that Uganda launched its Marine Cargo Insurance, MCI portal, in October 2021, with the enforcement of local marine cargo insurance starting in January 2022. I can see the insurance gurus here in the room. Uganda is seeking to retain not less than $100 million per annum in our economy, others which would be spent on the overseas farms. I wish to express my gratitude to ISCOS for this important research and advisory role, and for the technical support it has provided to Uganda in this journey. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, the rollout of African Continental Free Trade Area in January 2021 presents yet another golden opportunity for our African states to build further commercial and trade synergies and deepen our economic integration in the blue economy space. And beyond, we have just had what the Minister of Zambia went through, going through many cities to reach Entebbe, which is just a few miles away from, from Zambia. This opportunity further positions ISCOS rightly as a platform to help us harmonize our shipping and maritime differences, especially with our coastal member states, in order to register seamless shipping and trade. From the reports available to me, I've noted that the Secretariat has done a commendable job in keeping focus of the objectives of ISCOS, protecting and promoting our interests in the sector, and assisting us to coordinate our common interests. I wish us to give a round of applause to the Secretary General and the Secretariat for a job well done so far. Honorable colleagues, Uganda is a developing maritime nation. As a developing maritime nation, continues to build our capacity in the maritime sector. The government, through my ministry, has embarked on reviewing all maritime legislation, which gave birth to a new law, the Inland Water Transport Act 2021. We are also currently developing the tri-modal port, a new port on Lake Victoria called Bukasa Port, which will be a good gateway for all regional imports and exports through Lake Victoria. In addition, our existing two ports, one at Jinja and the old one at Port Bell, are being remodeled, and they'll also be used to promote trade and also tourism within the region. Further designs have been concluded for the development of selected landing sites on Lake Victoria, which is also envisioned to promote more cargo moving on Lake Victoria. With the increasing need for collaboration, as enshrined in the SDG 17 and the African Agenda 2063, as Nile Basin countries, we are closely studying the possibility of establishing a navigational line between Lake Victoria and the Mediterranean Sea through a project called Victoria and Mediterranean, a project called Victoria and Mediterranean, which is just still under feasibility study. This will bring numerous possibilities for the communities on the Nile Basin to exploit the blue economy. I think South Sudan must be interested, highly interested in this. In the same spirit, we are developing the Ntoroko one-stop border post, which will include modern jetty that will open up the trade between DRC and Uganda on Lake Albert. And this would drastically reduce on the travel time and trade barrier between our two countries. For the existing trade on Lake Victoria between the riparian states, Uganda has rehabilitated and deployed another vessel on the waters, MV Pamba, which is back into service and has the capacity of 880 metric tons in addition to the vessel which was already there. So now we have two vessels plying on Lake Victoria. In addition, we are also developing a fuel depot on Lake Victoria at a place called Kauku. I think I've seen you may be visiting that in your program, which will have a capacity, holding capacity of 70 million liters of fuel. And this could greatly reduce on the pains which we normally get when there is some small problem on the road. It is hoped that this will greatly relieve pressure off the northern corridor and shall improve petroleum distribution within Uganda and also the hinterland countries like Rwanda, Burundi, DRC, and South Sudan. Maritime safety, as already alluded to, has always been a global challenge, and in particular to an emerging maritime state like Uganda. As a region, through the multinational Lake Victoria Maritime Communication and Transport Project, we are improving our search and rescue capabilities on Lake Victoria and on other water bodies. Already, a maritime search and rescue coordination center has been set up in Entebbe here, and 9 search and rescue centers are going to be established within the Lake Victoria. We hope and believe that when all these projects are completed, there will be enormous modal shift from the traditional road transport to maritime transport, which, being the cheapest mode of transport, will save Uganda and the region a lot of more resources. I challenge ISCOS, which is working closely with the shippers and the private sector, to continue popularizing maritime transport and assist us to change the mindset of the shippers, which seem to be stuck with the road transport, even when water transport is realistically much cheaper. On the international maritime regulatory perspective, Uganda has so far acceded to 8 international maritime organization conventions for purposes of achieving regulatory parity with the region and international shipping. The Convention on the Facilitation of International Maritime Traffic is a key element for realization of Africa continental and free trade area. I appeal to ISCOS to continue assisting our shippers on the implications of many of these conventions and to partner with the coastal neighbors in sensitizing the private sector on these developing international conventions. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are delighted to have you here with us today. Colleagues from the regional states in Eastern and Central and Southern Africa. As an ISCOS member state, we have noted that the benefits we accrue from working together in the maritime sector would even be better if, as a region, we develop an all-inclusive mechanism of collaboration and acted as a team. Already, another honorable minister has referred on that issue and even gave an adage of if you want to walk faster, walk alone, but if you want to go far, go with others. As a region, we are served by the same maritime bodies, facilities and service providers. Our challenges are the same, and our strength should be in our numbers, the volumes of international trade we have, and our ability to get right our priorities. I've seen reports that ISCOS is running a number of programs for the benefit of the region as a whole. I wish to appeal to our neighbors to formally join us in developing the region's shipping and maritime sector, which will help us to ride on the advantage of numbers and collective synergies. I know that many states may be averse to joining institutions because of the element of monetary subscription, but as a region, we ought to appreciate that shipping and maritime transport issues cannot be managed in a piecemeal manner. We need to be together. We lose more than what we would save if we don't subscribe to an institution like ISCOS. You have already heard what they have done in the region, where they now have helped us to save about $500 million with the member states. I'm optimistic that at the end of this meeting, we shall be able to agree on some mechanism of collaboration going forward. As an ISCOS incoming chair, I'll be talking to my colleagues to ensure that we simplify all protocols of being part of the region maritime body. Honorable colleagues, the last man standing the formation of ISCOS, Mzee Kenneth Kaunda, passed away on the 17th of June, 2021. I wish to condole the Republic of Zambia on the tragic loss of this hero and the ISCOS fraternity and the region at large. Honorable Ministers, it is clear that COVID-19 pandemic has affected all of us, both economically and socially. And almost each one of us has lost a relative or a friend. I wish to condole with all of us who have lost our dear ones to this pandemic and pray for God's strength upon our families. Honorable member, I realize on your table that you have a sanitizer. Please, every time, sanitize your hands. We can't be sure. We don't want you to, we want you to leave this country well, going back to your to your home. So please keep sanitizing. It doesn't hurt. It's a very nice sanitizer, and take advantage to ensure that your hands are kept clean and germ-free. As I conclude, honorable colleagues, I want to thank ISCOS Secretariat and my technical team from my ministry, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other government departments for the excellent arrangements for this meeting, adequate documentation for the hospitality accorded to all the delegations. I've already received very warm regards from most of our visitors, so thank you very much for making our visitors comfortable. I once again wish to thank the outgoing chair of the Assembly of Ministers for steering us through these turbulent days of COVID. Honorable Macharia, thank you very much. With the numbers in the room, I would have let down our founding fathers and you if in the next 2 years I don't grow the numbers of the organization. So it's my commitment that working with the ISCOS Secretariat, we will see how we can grow our numbers so that by the next time we come in, we shall not be only 4 permanent member states, but we'll have more numbers on the East Coast. I hope you'll find some time with your busy schedules to visit Kampala, but don't go on the border, please, and other parts of the country, to experience the flora and fauna, the local dishes of Uganda, and the warm hospitality of our people. Last but not least, my sincere thanks goes to the coordinating committee for the wonderful preparatory works done for this meeting. Thank you very much, and I wish you fruitful deliberations. Thank you. And as I said, we are going to launch the portal, and then we'll have 3 minutes from each member who's here. And in this order, if I may read it straight away so that the delegates can prepare to come and give us some few remarks after the portal. We shall have remarks from the following regional states representative, the Republic of Burundi, followed by the Democratic Republic of Congo, will be followed by the Republic of Malawi, the Republic of Seychelles, the Republic of South Sudan. Then from delegates from the Federal Government of the Republic of Ethiopia, the Republic of Mauritius, and the Republic of Mozambique, in that order. So thank you very much, delegates. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's proceed. Secretariat, can we have the launch of the portal organized? And we move as fast as we can. Thank you. Okay, Secretariat, get moving. The mic is not on.
So we've come to the session of the launch of the electronic platforms developed by ISCOS. Honored to invite the Chair General Mala and the Secretary General to officiate the official launch of ISCOS e-learning platform and ShipLink. So ShipLink is an information support platform that has been developed by ISCOS in light of the COVID pandemic to be able to provide the stakeholders with a platform to enable them to report non-tariff barriers as well as provide information on shipping issues on a regular basis. I would request all of you to be able to download ShipLink through the platforms if you're using iOS on the Apple Store, just search for ShipLink. And for e-learning, you can access it through our website. These platforms are supported by our staff, and you're able to reach us through email, the apps themselves, and any other communication channels. So they are real time. We're able to sort out issues to do with congestion at the borders, issues to do with non-tariff barriers, delays, and so on. Thank you. So countdown, please. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press, please. Thank you, Chair. So we have officially launched ShipLink and e-learning. Thank you. We now move to the next session, which would be the remarks from the attending states. Support, please. Let's have the podium back to position.
Thank you, Secretariat. Please put back the podium. Okay. Are we ready? Yes. Thank you. But Secretary, you should have warned that there was going to be a pop. You know, Ukraine is on fire. So Burundi, your remarks. Thank you very much, Honorable.
Honorable Chairperson of this Assembly, Honorable Ministers and all representatives, distinguished participants or protocol observed. Firstly, I would like also to thank God for His grace and kindness, which allow us to meet in this beautiful country, the Republic of Uganda, Pearl of Africa. Let's also appreciate the hospitality of Ugandan people. On behalf of the government of Burundi, of the leadership of His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, I am delighted to convey greetings from the Burundi Maritime and Port community. Secondly, we would like to thank ISCOS for this invitation to attend the 7th meeting of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers in order to discuss matters of common interest. Indeed, the Burundi Ministry of Transport recognized that the region international trade largely aided by maritime transport and moving by sea to and from distant space across continent is subjected to conditions, situations, and incidences which each of the individual countries cannot effectively handle it on their own, due to the technical complexities and distances involved. We therefore commend and appreciate the effort of the ISCOS in handling all the issues, even for non-member countries, including Burundi. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, the Lake Tanganyika, which connects 4 countries, namely the Republic of Burundi, United Republic of Tanzania, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Zambia, has much potential in terms of lake transport development. We therefore welcome any opportunity to invest in transport at the Lake Tanganyika and take advantage of the above-mentioned potentials. At the same time, by playing its major role in increasing its mandate to the Lake Tanganyika, ISCOS assists in solving the issue challenging the maritime transport in the Lake Tanganyika by holding awareness campaigns to the Lake Tanganyika business community. Those challenges are but not limited to the following: lack of multilateral lake transport agreements among the states to enable the harmonization and standardization of transport policies, inadequate multimodal transport system which connect to the port, absence of forums where services providers between states meet to share information and collaborate in policy and operational practice and procedural harmonization. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude my remarks, I wish to once again to thank ISCOS authorities for the organization of these valuable meetings. I finally wish to inform that we would be grateful to see the ISCOS next meeting held in Burundi, which would also be a great opportunity for ISCOS to opening up the campaign for increasing the ISCOS membership to the remaining non-member states of the region. God bless you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister from Burundi, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Honorable Kendi Senga. There's some steps here.
Leurs Excellences, Messieurs les ministres de Transport maritime de l'espace ISCOS, Leurs Excellences, Messieurs les ministres invités, Mesdames et Messieurs les représentants des armements nationaux et agences maritimes ici représentés, Mesdames et Messieurs, chers participants, en vos titres et qualités respectifs, tout protocole respecté. Avant toute chose, je joins ma gratitude au Seigneur, notre Dieu, qui est le maître des temps et des circonstances et qui a voulu que nous puissions nous retrouver en ce lieu et à ce moment. Aussi, je voudrais assumer un devoir de pouvoir vous transmettre les chaleureuses salutations de son Excellence Félix-Antoine Tshisekedi Tshilombo, Président de la République démocratique du Congo, à son Excellence Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, pour la cordialité des relations entre nos deux gouvernements qui procèdent du rapprochement de nos peuples et de leur volonté ferme de pouvoir lancer le développement de nos économies au profit de nos populations, au lieu d'entretenir des adversités et des guerres inutiles. Aussi, le président de la République démocratique du Congo m'a chargé d'encourager les organisateurs de ce forum tout en vous rassurant que la République démocratique du Congo porte un intérêt majeur dans le développement de notre sous-région. En m'envoyant représenter mon pays à cette importante Assemblée nationale d'ISCOS, le chef de l'État veut démontrer l'intérêt que la République démocratique du Congo accorde aux questions d'intégration régionale dans le secteur des transports en général et des transports maritimes en particulier. Je me réjouis donc de conduire une importante délégation qui vient de la République démocratique du Congo pour honorer l'invitation qu'a bien voulu me lancer mon frère et ami James Macharia, ministre kényan des Transports, en sa qualité de président en exercice sortant de cette organisation qui nous réunit aujourd'hui. Je dois aussi rappeler que j'avais eu l'opportunité de recevoir à Kinshasa M. Daniel Kiangé, secrétaire général d'ISCOS, qui, en perspective de cette réunion ministérielle, a tenu de se déplacer personnellement pour me faire voir les enjeux de cette rencontre. Eh bien, aujourd'hui, j'ai encore davantage noté, avec intérêt, que l'objectif majeur est de regrouper les armements nationaux des États membres afin de parler d'une seule voix face aux propriétaires de navires qui fixent des prix de location de manière arbitraire sans tenir compte des difficultés spécifiques que les pays de l'espace ISCOS éprouvent. Eh bien, ayant adhéré à Eastern Africa Community, la République démocratique du Congo est devenue, sans nul doute, plus qu'hier, l'un des pays importants et ou stratégiques dans la chaîne maritime de l'océan Indien. Sous la vision de son Excellence Félix-Antoine Tshisekedi, président de la République démocratique du Congo, et pour l'intérêt supérieur de nos peuples, mon pays compte donc tirer le bénéfice intégral de son intégration dans cette communauté économique. Notre participation à cette Assemblée générale est un message fort à l'endroit de l'ensemble des États membres d'ISCOS qui leur rappelle que la République démocratique du Congo est un pays stratégique de par sa position géostratégique au cœur de l'Afrique, dans la chaîne du commerce maritime international où passent 90% des échanges commerciaux dans la région et où l'océan Indien sert de passage commun de ce commerce pour l'ensemble des pays de l'Afrique australe et occidentale, dont le port de Mombasa au Kenya et de Dar es Salaam en Tanzanie sont la principale porte d'entrée par la mer pour toute la partie est de la République démocratique du Congo. En tant qu'observateur à ces assises, il me semble qu'aujourd'hui, il n'est pas indiqué pour moi de tenir de grands discours. Ma délégation et moi-même sommes venus vous écouter. Écouter vos projets, vos programmes et vos perspectives pour nous permettre de mieux circonscrire les activités d'ISCOS, les intérêts et les enjeux d'intégration régionale dans le secteur de transport maritime, dans l'espace ISCOS, afin d'apprécier l'opportunité d'adhérer formellement à cette organisation ou de demeurer tout simplement partenaire des États membres. À l'issue de cette réunion et des entretiens bilatéraux que j'ai prévus, je me ferai la conviction que l'adhésion de la République démocratique du Congo est capitale au regard de ses intérêts nationaux qui impliquent la nécessité d'intégration en matière de transport maritime. Je vous promets donc d'en faire un efficace plaidoyer et même un plaidoyer acharné auprès de mon gouvernement en mobilisant si nécessaire toutes les institutions de la République dont l'intervention s'avère nécessaire à la formalisation de l'adhésion de la République démocratique du Congo dans ce nouvel espace. C'est sur cette note donc d'optimisme et de plein d'espoir d'intégrer très prochainement l'espace ISCOS que je réitère mes remerciements et toute la gratitude de ma délégation pour l'accueil chaleureux et fraternel qui nous a été réservé depuis notre arrivée en Ouganda. Je voudrais aussi rappeler que la République démocratique du Congo, l'Afrique, a forme d'un revolver dont la gâchette se trouve en République démocratique du Congo. Au fait, pour les autorités de la République démocratique du Congo, nous voudrions utiliser cette gâchette du revolver de l'Afrique, non pas pour faire la guerre, mais pour soutenir des initiatives du genre de ce que lance aujourd'hui ISCOS, afin de développer les économies de nos peuples, de nos pays et impulser le bien-être de nos populations. Au fait, en résumé, la République démocratique du Congo ne veut pas simplement aller vite, mais elle veut surtout aller loin, mais pas seule, avec les autres dans cette initiative lancée par ISCOS. Mwenyezi Mungu abariki Afrika, abariki pia manchi yetu zote. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Okende. Now can I call upon the Honorable Jacob from Republic of Malawi.
The chairman of ISCOS, ministers of member states and delegations, ministers from the invited countries and their delegations, the Secretariat, and all distinguished guests. Allow me to bring you greetings from the President of the Republic of Malawi, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, and indeed the people of Malawi that harbor the fifth largest lake in the world, but also the third, that is from the fresh waters, and the third largest in Africa. As a country, I must say that Malawi is delighted to get invited to attend as an observer in this assembly, and it's been of great interest. As a country, we host our water cargo transportation due to lack of development over the years. However, Malawi is more than interested to reduce the cost of transportation going to water and rail. We do have small cargo vessels that are enough to save us, which we had shelved over a long period of time due to lack of integration and collaboration with our neighboring coastal countries. But having attended this meeting, I feel that it would be a pleasure for our country to be part of ISCOS, because that would help us as a country to benefit a lot through our coastal neighbors, which are basically Mozambique and Tanzania. As a way of suggestion, I would like to suggest that probably ISCOS would increase its mandate above just the handling of the maritime shipment into looking at probably trade that would benefit also the member states. For example, I'm talking of things like if ISCOS said that wanted to handle the shipment of, say, fertilizers. I know that most of the African countries rely on agriculture and forms a greater part of their GDP. But if we decided to say, okay, ISCOS would like to handle shipment of all the Eastern and Central African nations' fertilizers as a unit, of course, amalgamated by the requirement of the states, you'd see that we'll be able to reduce the cost of our fertilizers by not less than 25%, because the cost of fertilizers is directly linked to the quantities purchased. This is just an example. We could look into other trade areas. This would see, you'd realize that would increase the benefits of the member states and therefore increase the mandate of the ISCOS. I would say that as a country, we would like to join, and I will say that we will be coming back to you after consultations, because we feel that this is the way to go. When we act as a group, we achieve more. And therefore, take this as a commitment from me to go and consult my team to ensure that Malawi becomes part of this, and together we can work as a group to move forward. Mr. Chairman and all distinguished guests, thank you very much for listening to my very simple and short speech as an observer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Jacob. May I now call upon Honorable Anthony Gerard from Seychelles.
Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, Chief Executive Officers, Directors of all the organizations here today, good afternoon. I wish to thank the government of Uganda, herein represented by Honorable General Wamala, for this invitation and for hosting us in Entebbe, this beautiful city by the lake. I also wish to thank the Secretary General of ISCOS for the invitation to us from the Seychelles. I wish to say a few words on Seychelles because we are not on the continent. We are a small group of islands in the middle of the Western Indian Ocean. We comprise 115 islands. We are scattered over 1.2 square kilometers of ocean. Our nearest neighbor is in fact Kenya, which is 1,200 kilometers from our main island. That's how far we are from the other countries. We do note that maritime shipping is essential for trade. In fact, for the Republic of Seychelles, 97% of our goods go through our ports through international shipping and not regional shipping. And as our economy is also largely based on tourism and other industries, of course, but mainly tourism, the aviation in our airport is of extreme importance. And all that boils down to transport. We agree and are extremely interested in the program of ISCOS in how it looks towards coordination, setting up, moving forward, professionalizing shipping, and also growing capacity in the states, including the Seychelles, which is of major interest to us for shipping. We have noted that all our shipping goes through these international shipping companies with little control by regional states. So both for shipping into and out of Seychelles and for our maritime sector, this assembly is of the utmost importance. In Seychelles, we are also moving and improving our infrastructure. We are starting this year with a major port extension and modernization, and our port is Port Victoria. We are also moving to extend and modernize our airport, which is Mahe International Airport. We are creating other infrastructure like a floating dry dock to repair ships of up to 4,000 tons. We are a major center for commercial fishing, so we do host quite a large number of tuna fishing vessels and longliners, and we are the major exporter of fish products and canned tuna to Europe. In fact, we are number 1 or number 2 in the world. So although we are quite small, we do have some contribution to make in terms of shipping, but not cargo shipping. So this conference, as I've stated, comes at an opportune time, and I look forward to participating with ISCOS in seeing how for the Indian Ocean Islands, including, and I see our cousin, our sister country, Mauritius, present, on how we can build up capacity and create regional shipping and connecting the continent with the island states in the Indian Ocean. I wish to thank you for inviting us again, and all my thanks to the government of Uganda and to ISCOS for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Anthony from the Republic of Seychelles. Now we'll have remarks from the Republic of South Sudan. Honorable Minister, we already have the presentation. Just make the remarks as short as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, General Katuma Lomalwa, and my colleagues, dear participants. First and foremost, let me just convey a warm greeting from our government of South Sudan and the people of South Sudan to this function. And I'm also very happy to be among the participants in this important function, because as we know all, we have been actually affected by COVID-19, and such a gathering were very limited. Mr. Chairman, my colleague ministers, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, South Sudan is the youngest country in the world, landlocked in some areas and even double landlocked also in some countries. But we are actually very pleased because geographically we fall into the heart of Africa. So South Sudan, we consider also in the near future is going to be the hub in the African continent, crossing from East Africa to West Africa and from Southern Africa to Northern Africa. We are well placed in that location, which we don't feel that we are affected. Your Excellencies, this body is very important for us because we have already been connected to the coastal nations, and particularly Kenya, in Mombasa, through to Uganda, and then to Numuli, and then to Juba, the capital of South Sudan. My colleague Mashare has talked before of the projects, big projects that are also being undertaken to connect the region through Northern Corridor and then the LAPSET. These are actually a big project that actually will promote the common goods of the people of Africa. And we are very happy that already we have been connected, and more projects are coming up to connect to all countries that are neighboring South Sudan in the western part of our country. We have already connected to Uganda, Kenya, through Northern Corridor, and South Sudan is naturally gifted with the great White Nile, whose source is just few meters away from where we are sitting now, the Lake Victoria. White Nile is also a very important transport route to the people of South Sudan from Juba in the south to Rang in the north of South Sudan, and then cross to Sudan in a place called Kosti. So this is actually a very important route, transport route in the Republic of South Sudan. White Nile also has got some important tributaries. One is from Ethiopia, we call it Baro, and then we call it in South Sudan, is Sobat River. That is also feeding into the White Nile, and that area also is navigable in South Sudan. And that will also connect us to Ethiopia through a place called Gambela. We have also another route coming from western part of South Sudan called Bahr al-Ghazal. It is also connected to the Nile. And this is also another important area that is actually can help people of South Sudan and the region. While shipping is most vital route in economic development, the final destination always is on land. So whatever we are importing through shipping in Mombasa, in Dar es Salaam, and in Mozambique, in Djibouti, in other coastal nations, they always land on land. So there is important need to develop land infrastructure so that we reduce the congestion of the ports. And that was the reason why the Republic of Kenya, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, and the Republic of South Sudan, Republic of Uganda, they come up with the initiative to build a Lamu port so that we reduce the congestion in Mombasa and soon also in Dar es Salaam. So there is a vital need actually to develop land infrastructure in terms of railways, roads, and these are actually very important areas that can actually facilitate the quick move of goods and services to the neighboring countries. Currently, we are working in South Sudan to develop a legal framework for inland water system, because Nile is actually a very important trade route for us. And with this also, we are facing some challenges, especially there are areas along the Nile that need dredging. And this is also something that I want to bring to the attention of our neighbors. Dredging is one area. To develop also, we are developing river ports along the Nile and then put the navigational aids so that there is a smooth movement of barges. Now for coastal nations, I'm also inviting members of coastal nations to come to South Sudan because we want to open a barge building because we don't have such a group of people or expert. So in Mombasa, in Dar es Salaam, you are most welcome to come to visit South Sudan. We will give you, we will facilitate you to build barges for us and also for yourself so that the business can go smoothly from Juba up to Sudan. Because most of the barges that have been used some years ago, some have actually got dilapidated and some were sunk during the war. So it is important also to come there also with your expert to come and also build barges, and that will actually facilitate because there are goods and services that we need also to ship them or to transport them from inland countries to the coastal countries. It is not only just importing, but we can also export goods and services. I've distributed some copies to my colleagues because the time is short, but it is also going to be a takeaway so that you go and also look into that copies. So our commitment as South Sudanese and the Minister of Transport, we are fully committed to ISCOS, and we'll be actually trying to get more documents of ISCOS so that in the next coming meeting, we will be able actually to acquaint ourselves with a lot of the documents. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and my colleagues.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Madut. May I now call upon Mr. Yeulajesh Jamel from the Republic of Ethiopia.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Honorable Ministers, senior government officials, ISCOS management and team members, dear delegates, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I'm honored and privileged to be here to attend the 7th Ministerial Assembly representing Her Excellency the Ministry of Transport and Logistics of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. And please allow me to pass a warm greetings from Her Excellency the Minister Dagmawit Mogas. I wish to thank ISCOS for organizing such an assembly, and also I would like to extend my thanks to the people and government of Uganda for the warm hospitality from the time we arrived here. Ladies and gentlemen, you will excuse me for my voice. I've got some frogs in my throat. Nowadays, world states, including Ethiopia, are in constant logistics-related pressures for both cost and competitiveness. This pressure is urging us to bring efficiency and cost reduction in the region. So allow me to repeat what the chairman said earlier. Over 90% of the commodities we're using daily are transported by sea, on the sea transport or a marine transport. And studies also show that countries are spending from 10 to 35% of their GDP for the logistics costs. For countries like us, where we lack infrastructure, proper infrastructure, where we are also lagging behind on the service provision of the logistics sector, and where we don't have the skilled human power in the logistics sector, the costs tend to be on the higher end. It's even worse for countries like Ethiopia, where we don't have a coastal line. And I believe Ethiopia has took bold measures in transforming the logistics sector, and we've recently ratified the logistics transformation strategy. And as you all know, logistics needs a higher level of integration among the stakeholders. We've also established what we call the Logistics Council. In this council, literally 1/4 of the cabinets are sitting. It's chaired by the Minister of Transport and Logistics. Customs, National Bank, the Investment Commission, the private sector are also part of this Logistics Council, and we're making several decisions to change the logistics sector. I believe logistics in the region is not given the emphasis it deserves. I mentioned 35% of the GDP is quite a large sum. So countries who have given emphasis to logistics, like UAE, you all know DP World, and they've given a strong emphasis for DP World, and currently DP World is contributing about 35% of GDP of Dubai. Only one company, a logistics company. If you allow me, let me mention one example. Ethiopia, through its FOB policy, we're importing all the cargos except the aid cargos through FOB Incoterms, and we've given the monopoly mandate for the Ethiopian shipping lines. I had to mention Ethiopia is a landlocked, but we are also a flag state. Through the Ethiopian shipping lines, we've given all the cargos through FOB. So Ethiopian shipping lines is negotiating having 200,000 containers, and it's leveraging the liners on this. And we were able to get $200 per TEU discount when we create economy of scale. Imagine if we can have a regional, organization who can do this economy of scale, and it can be more cheaper. I believe an organization like ISCOS is the right platform to do this. And as an observer today, I personally will be an advocate in my government system for ISCOS, and we will continue to cooperate with ISCOS and its member states to achieve the vision set. Once again, I would like to congratulate ISCOS for organizing such a successful assembly, and I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Jameri. May I now call upon Mr. Krishna G. Lesling from the Republic of Mauritius.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for inviting me to give a short speech. I'm Mr. Chris Lal Singh, the MD of Mauritius Shipping Corporation. I represent the Minister of Blue Economy and Shipping, who has not been able to attend this function today, but I make it a point to give you, in a nutshell, what Mauritius is doing on the regional shipping line. Well, first of all, on behalf of Mauritius and the Minister, would like to thank the Uganda's authority for the excellent and formidable welcome and organizations for this conference. Our thanks also goes to the SPAT of ministers attending these important functions today. Congratulations, honorable ministers. Our warm thanks also goes to the Secretary General of ISCO and its teams for the excellent and formidable organizations done today, irrespective of the COVID situation and everything. Excellent job, thank you. Well, in a nutshell, I just want to give you an idea what Mauritius is doing with its shipping line, which is a state-owned company. It's a private company. MSCL is a private company, but for the government. We exist over 40 years. We are owner and operator of 2 vessels, the Mauritius Troketia, a multi-purpose passenger and cargo vessel, container vessel. We charter another vessel, which is the Black Rhino, to operate the inter-island trade. That is Réunion, Agalega Island, and Rodrigue Island, which is a dependency of Mauritius. These vessels, they ply normally on a weekly basis to these islands. And we are also having a new vessel, a brand new vessel of 8,200 deadweight, built actually in China, which will be delivered in May 2023. This vessel will top up our existing fleets. And the most interesting part at this critical moment is the venue of 3 time-chartered vessels that the government of Mauritius is contemplating together with MSCL to do regional shipping line. The first one, I have already, since last week, mapped out all the feasibility of this project. The vessel will ply essentially on a monthly basis Mauritius, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, South Africa, and why not Seychelles also, on a monthly basis for lots of commodity that we import directly from these countries. These are captive freights that we can tap upon and which can make up roughly about 80% of capacity on these vessels. Naturally, we are going to talk to other regional islands as to why, as to how we can rope in their traffic as well on this regional shipping line. So this being said, the 2 other remaining vessels that we are going to time chartered is going to ply the Malagasy East and West coastal areas, Réunion, Seychelles, Comoro Island, Maputo, South Africa, and why not Tanzania and other coastal regions. So I made it a point to circulate a position paper I've just circulated to my colleagues, ministers, so that we can brainstorm. We need input, we need intelligence from you as to how we can make this road a success in terms of traffic. The traffic is here. It's only a question of putting the assets, the right patterns of route patterns, the right periodicity, and the right volume in terms of, we are also investing, we have a fleet of not less than 1,500 TEUs. We are investing. The new vessel will be taking brand new containers, 2,000 brand new containers from China to cater for the forthcoming traffic with cabotage coming in service soon. We are talking not for next year, we are talking in July or May this year. So gentlemen, I would kindly request from you to share intelligence through ISCO to give us the maximum information where we can start this business, and together with you African countries, there is room where we can pull together and make the regional shipping a success instead of remaining at the mercy of these big giant shipping companies where the freight has escalated to not less than 10 times, tenfold. This is incredible, and there's more to come. And it's time for us to wake up and to give whatever resources, whatever capacity we can put in place and make this regional shipping African lines a success. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Jesling. Members, we are going to have a last remark from Mr. Unate from the Republic of Mozambique. After Mr. Unate's remarks, we are going to have 15 minutes health break. We'll come back and have the resolutions and the joint communique. Then we'll have closing remarks and give out some gifts, and that will close the day. So when we give the 15 minutes health break, please let's observe the 15 minutes so that we don't go beyond the 2 o'clock mark, which I targeted. So, Mr. Onate, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Honorable ministers and partners present on this assembly, distinguished guests, allow me to go straight to the statements. On behalf of the people, as well as the deputy ministers of the transport and communication, the Mozambican delegation would like to extend greetings to all participants on this meeting. We would like also to give a special thanks to the organizers of these prestigious events. Thanks for the warm reception that made Mozambican delegation feel at home. Our attendance at this assembly witnessed the bet of Mozambican government to continue working for the reinforcement of the maritime transport in our country and the region, for the sustainable development of the shipping sector. Ladies and gentlemen, by recognizing its privilege as natural logistics facilitator for the inland countries of the SADC region, Mozambique has been investing on the expansion and the modernization of the rail and port infrastructures with the view of revitalizing its development trade corridors. On the other hand, the Republic of Mozambique has been consolidating the activity of maritime transport of internal cargo by reintroducing maritime cabotage on the government, and the government made this agenda one of the priorities since 2020, after it has been interrupted for more than 30 years. Excellencies, this assembly takes place at a time in which Mozambique is preparing the Conference of Maritime Cabotage Transport, intended to be held in June 2022, aiming to promote Mozambican and regional opportunities for the development of maritime transport. By saying that, we would like to express our desire to count on the attendance of ISCOS and the different states of the regional blocks in this coming conference, whose formal invitation will be addressed as soon as possible to your governments or your organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, as a member of the Southern African Regional Bloc, we would like to express our willingness to deepen intra-regional cooperation, reiterating our commitment to the implementation of IMO conventions in favor of sustainable maritime transport development and a better marine environment. In conclusion, we would like to wish ISCOS a success implementation of the deliberations and the launching platforms. We can say that Africa and our regions can only grow and develop our shipping sector by staying and working together and combining efforts. We need to move together, and the launched platform by ISCOS today is an example of that. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado.
Thank you very much, Mr. Onate from Mozambique. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are now 1:30 local time. We are going to break off for 15 minutes to have a healthy break. We'll be back here by 1:45. We'll go through the communique. The communique will be signed by the 4 member states, but will be witnessed by all the other delegates, heads of delegation. Then, by that time, I expect the Secretary to have finished making the resolutions which will be signed by all of us. And after that, we shall have the closing remarks, then the gift session, and that will do for the up to lunchtime. I'll seek your indulgence that we have a late lunch from 2 onwards. Then you relax, and at 1800 hours, we shall have a cocktail. The cocktail, you come in your smart casual. Don't bother with a lot of ties and all that. Smart casual to relax, because I want ministers to relax today. So today I want to see the ministers in a relaxed mood. So at 1800 hours, we'll be back, we'll have the cocktail, and then that will remain, after that we'll be departing according to our schedules. So with that, I want now to adjourn the meeting for 15 minutes for a healthy break. Thank you very much, all of you. Thanks for your patience. I've seen there's been very limited movement within the room, and that means this subject is very important to all of us. Thank you. 15 minutes break.
Rooms are straight to the left. We also have a tent for the COVID tests right outside the hall in the garden on your right. All you need is a copy of your passport, and I will explain to you anything else you need to know. So please be guided. Thank you.
come and guide the signing of the communique quickly. Communique will be witnessed by, will be signed by the 4 member states, the original. But the resolutions, those will be signed by all the members who have attended the meeting. The other members who have attended the meeting will just be as witnesses to the communique. So Secretary General, take us through quickly.
Thank you, Chair. And through you, I beg to read the joint communique for this meeting. This is the joint communique for the 7th meeting of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers of the Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping. On shipping, held on Thursday, the 10th March 2022 at Imperial Resort Beach, Entebbe, the Republic of Uganda. The 7th meeting of the ISCOS Assembly of Ministers of the Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping was held on Thursday, the 10th March 2022 at Imperial Resort Beach and Tebe, the Republic of Uganda. The second meeting of the Assembly of the Standing Committee took place, I think that's the same. The meeting was held in a cordial and friendly atmosphere and was attended by members of the ISCOS Assembly as follows. Honorable General Edward Katumba Wamala, Minister of Works and Transport, Republic of Uganda, and also the Chair of ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. Honorable Mr. James W. Macharia, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, Urban Development, and Public Works, Republic of Kenya. Honorable Fred Atupele Makibete, MP, Deputy Minister, representing the Honorable Professor Makame Munya Parawa, MP, Minister of Works and Transport of the United Republic of Tanzania, and Honorable Frank Mseba Tayali, MP, Minister of Transport and Logistics, Republic of Zambia. The meeting was also attended by ministers and country representatives from states in the Eastern, Central, and Southern Africa as follows. Honorable Maria Chantal Ninjimbere, Minister of Trade, Transport, and Tourism, Republic of Burundi. Honorable Okende Senga Sherbin, Minister of Transport of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Honorable Jacob Ara, Minister of Transport and Public Works, Republic of Malawi. Honorable Anton Gerard, Minister of Transport, Republic of Seychelles. Honorable Madoud Biariel, Minister of Transport and Roads, Republic of South Sudan. Mr. Jamer Sharai, Director General of the Ethiopia Maritime Authority Affairs and proxy to the Minister of Transport, Federal Government of the Republic of Ethiopia. Mr. Krishna J. Lassi, Managing Director, Mauritius Shipping Corporation Limited, and proxy to the Honorable Minister of Blue Economy, Marine Resources, Fisheries and Shipping, Republic of Mauritius, and Mr. Unaid Mustafa, Director General, Mozambique Maritime Authority, and proxy to the Deputy Minister, Ministry of Transport and Communication, Republic of Mozambique. The stakeholders of the shipping and maritime sector also attended the meeting. These include port administrations, maritime administration of Eastern, Central, and Southern African states, terminal operators, clearing and forwarding agencies, national shippers councils, regional shippers councils, insurance regulatory authorities, insurance association, trade facilitation agencies, transit and transport corridor authorities, regional economic commissions, diplomats, and other stakeholders in the shipping and maritime sector. The Bureau of the Assembly was constituted as follows: Chairperson, Republic of Kenya; Vice Chairperson, Republic of Uganda; Second Chairperson, Republic of Zambia; and Rapporteur, United Republic of Tanzania. The Assembly of Ministers noted with gratitude the presence of ministers and country representatives from the states in the Eastern, Central, and Southern Africa, noting that their presence was a clear testimony of the importance to which the region attached to collaboration in shipping and maritime sector. The Assembly welcomed the rest of the region to ISCOS and thanked the attending ministers for prioritizing ISCOS Assembly meeting amidst their busy and equally important schedules. Member states reiterated their support to the organization, emphasizing that ISCOS platform provides an avenue for attending to shipping and maritime matters of common interest and concern to the member states and the region at large. The Assembly noted with satisfaction the organization had performed well as an advisory and advocacy body, and its activities were promoting the shipping and maritime interest of the regional states in line with the organization's mandate. The Assembly of Ministers received the progress report of the organization and noted the organization's performance since the sixth Assembly of Ministers was commendable, hence congratulated the Secretariat for a job well done. The Assembly further commended the Secretary General, Mr. Daniel Kiange, for the good leadership and performance of the organization during the intervening period. The Assembly took note of the position of member contributions and expressed satisfaction that members were up to date with their contribution. The Assembly urged members with arrears to the organization to prioritize meeting their obligations to the organization. The Assembly noted that ISCOS membership was open to the states in the Eastern, Central, and Southern Africa, and urged the rest of the states in the region to consider joining ISCOS. The Assembly cited that the need for maritime collaboration was based on the international nature of shipping and maritime affairs. The technical nature, its complexity, and geographical location on issues involved, the universality and commonality of shipping and maritime challenges facing the region and Africa at large, favoring collective rather than unilateral intervention. The need for effective protection of the interests of the region against and defense policies and practices of multilateral service providers, harmonization of interests of the land-linked states, the policies and practices of coastal states, the interdependence of regional states in maritime trade due to shared maritime bodies and facilities, and universality of shipping and maritime aspirations for the states of Eastern, Southern, and Central Africa, among others. The Assembly took note of the ongoing implementation of the revised African Maritime Charter, spearheaded by the African Union and the maritime regional organizations, and urged ISCOS to position to play a bigger role as a regional intergovernmental organization. The Assembly challenged ISCOS to continue being vigilant and alert about developments which can have implications to the sector and to the sector in the region. The Assembly took note of the observations by the Secretariat of the limitations which the named Intergovernmental Standing Committee may have on the initiatives to grow membership, and directed the Coordination Committee to consider the matter and progress it appropriately. That some members had expressed observation of the new set of manuals, and hence the expert directed the Coordination Committee to review and address these areas of concern, and thereafter to submit the manuals to the Assembly for consideration and approval. The Assembly underscores the importance of research and development amidst the fast technological changes taking place in the shipping, maritime, and trade industry, and directed the Secretariat to continue being innovative so that it can appropriately advise member states on the highly evolving matters in the shipping and maritime industry. The Assembly of Ministers noted that maritime piracy as a big disruptor of international trade across the Indian Ocean had been repressed but not completely eliminated, and urged regional states and institutions to remain vigilant, continuously collaborate on the matters of maritime security, prioritize building capacities for the local navies, and work with the own of African states for the stable political environment. The ISCOS Assembly of Ministers noted that the use of water transport, especially the use of inland waterways, had not been fully exploited, and challenged ISCOS and stakeholders to address issues that may be impediment to this. The Assembly urged ISCOS to continue with its trade facilitation initiatives in the inland water bodies. The Assembly of Ministers noted with satisfaction the trend of regional states in prioritizing maritime transport, and making several initiatives in line with the building capacity of the sector, particularly building and rehabilitation of vessels, enhancement of port infrastructure, tools and equipment, and noted that these initiatives are useful and appealed for greater coordination of activities among adjoining states. The Assembly urged ISCOS to continue supporting the region in building capacity for the maritime sector. The Assembly reiterated need for closer interface between the coastal and land states in order to have the interests, practices, and policies of the two reconciled and harmonized. The Assembly of Ministers expressed gratitude to ISCOS for the initiative of localization of marine cargo insurance in the member states, noting that this is poised to help members save about 500 million USD in premiums, which otherwise would have been placed abroad with overseas firms. The Assembly urged the states who are still walking this journey to hasten their internal processes. The Assembly of Ministers noted that 2-year tenure of the current Bureau headed by the Republic of Kenya was coming to an end. The Assembly applauded Kenya for leading the institution very well and for the gains registered during her tenure. Accordingly, the Assembly constituted and adopted a new Bureau for the next 2 years as follows. Chair, Republic of Uganda. First Chair, Republic of Zambia. Second Chair, United Republic of Tanzania. And Rapporteur, Republic of Kenya. The Assembly welcomes the new Chair and wished him well during his 2-year tenure. The Assembly underscores the importance of holding its meeting on a rotational basis within the member states and agrees that the next meeting will be hosted by the Republic of Zambia. Done on 10th day of March 2022 in Entebbe, the Republic of Uganda. Chair, I beg to submit.
Thank you, Secretary General. And the honorable ministers from the permanent member states had already gone through the communique. So they are now endorsing the communique. And we are waiting for the resolutions from the plenary. If we can have those done quickly, then we'll all be able to endorse our signatures on the resolution. Secretariat, can you come and give me the photo session alignment? resolutions are being distributed. Please go through them, and we are also going to have the secretary reading them out at the podium. Yeah. Secretary, to reduce on time, please take us page by page through the resolutions. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I now have the honor to take the Assembly and the meeting through the resolutions. We have a document which is being distributed to the ministers. I believe it's in both English and French, but I'll go through the English version. These are the resolutions of the states in the Eastern, Central, and Southern Africa on the matter of collaboration in shipping and maritime sector. Preamble. We, the states in Eastern, Central, and South Africa, meeting here in Entebbe, Uganda, on the 10th March 2022, as represented by the following ministers and country representatives: Republic of Uganda, Honorable General Edward Katumba Wamala, Minister of Works and Transport and Chair of ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. Republic of Kenya, Honorable Mr. James W. Macharia, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, Urban Development, and Public Works, and also the outgoing Chair of ISCOS Assembly of Ministers. United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Fred Atupele Mwakibete, MP, Deputy Minister representing the Honorable Professor Makame Munya Barawa, MP, Minister of Works and Transport. Republic of Zambia, Honorable Frank Museba Tayari, MP, Minister of Transport and Logistics. Republic of Burundi, Honorable Maria Chandal Njimbire, Minister of Trade, Transport and Tourism. Democratic Republic of Congo, Honorable Okende Senga Sherbil, Minister of Transport. Republic of Malawi, Honorable Jacob Ara, Minister of Transport and Public Works. Republic of Seychelles, Honorable H.E. Aton Geran, Minister of Transport. Republic of South Sudan, Honorable Madoud BRL, Minister of Transport and Roads. Federal Republic of Ethiopia, Engineer Jeremy Sharawe, Director General of the Ethiopia Maritime Authority, Affairs and Proxy to the Minister of Transport. Republic of Mauritius, Mr. Krishna G. Lassi, Managing Director, Mauritius Corporation Limited, and Proxy to the Honorable Minister of Blue Economy, Marine Resources, Fisheries and Shipping. Republic of Mozambique, Honorable Unit Mustafa, Director General, Mozambique Maritime Authority, and Proxy to the Deputy Minister, Minister of Transport and Communication. Recognizing the international nature of shipping and maritime affairs, its technical nature, complexities, and geoposition of issues involved, the universality and commonality of shipping and maritime challenges facing the region and Africa at large, favoring collective rather than unilateral intervention measures, the need for effective protection of the interests of the region against anti-defense policies and practices of multilateral service providers, the need for harmonization of interests of land-linked states with policies and practices of coastal states, the interdependency of regional states in maritime trade due to shared maritime bodies and facilities, and the universality of shipping and maritime aspirations for the states in the Eastern, Central, and Southern Africa, aware that over 90% of the region international trade largely aided by maritime transport and moving by sea to and from distant places across continents is subject to policies, conditions, situations, and incidences which of the individual countries cannot effectively handle on their own due to the technical complexities and distances involved. Noting that the region is served by the same multinational shipping carriers, shipping lines, and other service providers which are sometimes exploitative in nature, such that unilateral actions would not be as effective to mitigate the adverse conditions imposed from time to time. First, with the fact that the region's international cargo is still largely transported by foreign carriers, leading to the payment of colossal amounts of foreign currency, depriving the region of control in managing shipping costs and leaving the region at the mercy of foreign carriers. Accepting that the individual capacity of member states to effectively invest in the ownership of international ships is still low, verbal recognizing that although ISCOS formation was originally a four-member state affair, the spirit of its formation and existence was maritime collaboration for the region, in recognition of the benefits of creating synergies in this complex and capital-intensive sector. Verbal aware that ISCOS, as the regional maritime body, has been carrying out programs and activities whose benefits go beyond the four founding states. Bearing in mind that the geoposition of states, especially the land-linked ones, make it difficult for them to access the coastal shipping services except through regional and international networks, and the need for harmonization of policies of coastal states with the interest of their land-linked neighbors in use of the port facilities and delivery of shipping services. Taking note of the complex nature of shipping and maritime matters, and the need for regional states to have a specialized institution to carry out research and advise them on dynamics of the development in the sector, and to help them develop and build capacity for their maritime sector. Noting that due to lack of effective and greater collaboration for the region, regional states continue to lose enormous resources in this sector, much of which are unfortunately not very apparent. Taking advantage of the already existing collaboration framework provided by the Intergovernmental Standing Committee on Shipping as an intergovernmental maritime body already operating in the region, and the good work it has already been doing in promoting the shipping and maritime interests of the region. Inspired by the African Maritime Charter, which encourages African states to organize themselves in region blocks that can drive their common shipping and maritime agenda, accepting that the Eastern, Central, and Southern African states share maritime facilities, bodies, and services such as the Indian Ocean as a passage for international trade, East African coastline, which serves as the interface between service and maritime transport, and also connects several states, inland waterways that offered by the inland waterways, which with a potential of promoting intra and international trade, shipping services offered by the same service providers, much of which are foreign-owned, among others. These factors necessitate collaboration to mitigate common challenges and development of the sector. Briefly to the fact that greater collaboration of regional states in shipping and maritime sector would facilitate, among others, exchange of information and ideas on how to develop the sector, open dialogue on possibilities and opportunities of pooling resources together for the investment in the sector, create opportunities of having in place a regional maritime policy, assist in creating synergies and unity of purpose, accord land-linked states effective representation in coastal shipping affairs, among other things. Now, thereof, ISCOS member states agrees to continue propagating to the rest of the region the importance of shipping and maritime collaboration as the benefits of working together as regional states in the shipping and maritime sector. Continue supporting and strengthening ISCOS in our initiatives to grow its scope and mandate and increase its membership to the rest of the region for the benefit of the regional economies. Carry out reforms within the organization which can assist in growth of ISCOS membership. Attending ministers, country representatives from the rest of the region agree to 1. Inform our respective governments about the significance of greater maritime collaboration for the region and the importance of embracing ISCOS membership and therefore should join ISCOS. Form an interstate regional maritime committee for the Eastern, Central, and South African comprising shipping and maritime experts from the respective states to and devise the region in identification of areas of greater maritime collaboration and shipping, support ISCOS in the promotion of shipping and maritime collaboration and growing its membership, and devise regional states on the modalities of joining ISCOS membership if interested. ISCOS undertakes 1. To provide secretarial service to the Interstate Regional Committee for the Eastern, Central, and Southern Africa. 2. To facilitate the development of a framework for the collaboration of regional states in the maritime sector. Support interested regional states in the process of joining ISCOS. Continue running programs, initiatives, and undertakings which are for the benefit of the region as a whole. Signed on the 10th day of the March 2022 in Entebbe, Uganda, we have Honorable General Edward Katumba Wamala, Minister of Works and Transport, and also the Chair of ISCOS Assembly of Ministers, Republic of Uganda, Honorable Mr. James W. Macharia, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, Urban Development, and Public Works, Republic of Kenya, Honorable Fred Atupele Mwakibete, MP, Deputy Minister representing the Honorable Professor Makame Munya Barawa, MP, Minister of Works and Transport, United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Frank Mseba Tayari, MP, Minister of Transport and Logistics, Republic of Zambia, Honorable Maria Chandal Njibire, Minister of Trade, Transport and Tourism, Republic of Burundi, Honorable Okende Senga Sherbin, Minister of Transport, Democratic Republic of Congo, Honorable Jacob Ara, Minister of Transport and Public Works, Republic of Malawi, Honorable Anton Gerard, Minister of Transport, Republic of Seychelles, Honorable Madut Biarrier, Minister of Transport and Roads, Republic of South Sudan, Mr. Jeremy Shere, Director General of Ethiopia Maritime Authority Affairs and proxy to the Minister of Transport, Federal Government of the Republic of Ethiopia, Mr. Krishna G. Lasing, Managing Director, Mauritius Shipping Corporation Limited, and proxy to the Honorable Minister of Blue Economy, Marine Resources, Fisheries and Shipping, Republic of Mauritius, and Mr. Unait Mustafa, Director General, Mozambique Maritime Authority, and proxy to the Deputy Minister, Minister of Transport and Communications, Republic of Mozambique. Chair, I submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. Honorable members, you have heard the resolutions. To me, most of them are innocent. They're not committing country to matters which have not been properly or thoroughly slashed out according to each country's regime. But it's just, they just express what we have been going through today. Are there members, except the only challenge I found, that there's no French translation, but I hope my counterpart from DRC has comfortably followed. Yeah. Oh, you have? Okay. Yes, please.
Chairman, just wondering whether it's not good to mention that Mauritius is kickstarting the regional shipping and has invited all country members to share ideas whereby we can make it a success down the road.
Did you understand, Secretary? Mauritius put it on table that they are starting a shipping line, and they have actually even presented it to the
regional shipping.
The regional shipping. They want us to support that effort
and share intelligence
and share the ideas of how we can maximize that effort. Yes, Ethiopia.
Chairman,
Seychelles.
Seychelles is a member of the African Union. It's
Pardon?
also a member of SADC and a member of COMESA.
Pardon?
Seychelles is a member of the African Union,
Yes.
SADC, and also COMESA.
Yes.
But it's also an island state in the Indian Ocean. So, for example, when we state recognizing the first paragraph, at the end, wouldn't it be more clear and specific at the end of the paragraph on recognizing, where the last sentence says, and universality of shipping and maritime aspirations for the states in the Eastern, Central, and Southern Africa and Indian Ocean.
Yes.
Perhaps this would make it more specific for Mauritius, Republic of Mauritius, and Republic of Seychelles.
Okay.
Elsewhere it says regional states, it's okay.
Okay.
But in just one paragraph,
To accommodate.
yes, accommodate the two.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Chair. Just a minor thing, a correction. I'm Minister of Transport.
Okay.
Not roads.
Okay. Minister of Transport, not roads.
Yeah.
They are two separate ministries.
Yeah, roads is a different ministry. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Honor, is from DRC.
Monsieur le Président, je félicite le secrétariat pour la qualité du travail abattu. Néanmoins, il y a quelques petites observations de forme. Je disais donc, Monsieur le Président, que je félicite le secrétariat pour la qualité du travail abattu, qui en fait reflète l'expression de nos échanges. Néanmoins, il y a quelques observations de forme. À la page 3, je constate qu'il y a répétition de la capacité individuelle de nombreux États à investir efficacement dans la propriété des navires internationaux est encore faible. Donc cette phrase est répétée dans la version française. Il serait mieux de pouvoir élaguer une partie. Aussi, en français, il y a des petites coquilles de S, juste de forme qu'on pourra verser au niveau du secrétariat. Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Okay. Okay. It's page 3 of the French version. Yes, the French version.
Française.
Honorable Minister, can you go over that particular statement?
Verser au secrétariat.
That particular statement. Acceptance.
Acceptons, oui. Et puis reconnaissons, ça reprend la même phrase.
That is where they say acceptance. Accepting that the individual capacity. Is that the one? Yes.
En version française, la même disposition est répétée. Reconnaissons, en fait, j'ai lu le 2. Acceptant que la capacité individuelle de nombreux États à investir efficacement dans la propriété de navires internationaux est encore faible. Et la considération qui suit, reconnaissant que la capacité individuelle de nombreux États à investir efficacement dans la propriété des navires internationaux est encore faible.
Okay.
Il convient donc d'élaguer une phrase. Merci.
Oh, it was repeated in French. Okay, so in English, if we follow the English version, then it would be okay. If the direct English version here is translated directly in French, then it will be fine. Is that how I understand it, interpreter? Yeah. So with those corrections, I think we can do those corrections can be made as we go over the last few administrative things. One, we are going to have, I'm going to give my closing remarks, and I hope that the Secretary can do those corrections. These ones can even be signed later over lunch. Now, after my remarks, we are going to have a photo session here, and the photo session will be ministers. The first will be the ministers. The second photograph will be ministers and PSAs. The third will be ministers, PSAs, and technical team of ISCOS. Then outside, we shall have a photo for all of us where the flags are after we have done the handing over of the gifts. We shall go out and do all the photos, and from there we shall go over lunch, and then everybody will be on his own until the cocktail. So I'll give my remarks, closing remarks, then we shall give shall do the gift giving, the photograph, then we go out, do the big photograph, and then off for lunch. Is that okay, Secretary? Meantime, you make those little corrections which have been observed by the honorable ministers. Thank you. Honorable ministers and heads of delegations, honorable members in the room, protocol has been observed since morning, and I think I don't need to go over the protocols again. I'm going to make a few remarks. I know that the sugar levels for some of us have already risen. First of all, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank all of you members who have come to attend, who have responded to this call to attend this meeting. I want to say thank you. Thank you for turning up, because otherwise this meeting would not have been of any use if you had not responded to the invitation. So thank you very much, honorable ministers. Thank you very much, heads of delegations, for bringing all your people and big delegations to this meeting. We highly appreciate. I want to thank you, honorable ministers, and again, heads of delegations, for the positive remarks you have made about my country. I know that my president, His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni, will be very pleased to see this big meeting being hosted here, and is following very much because he's highly interested in promoting trade on the African continent, and he must be following this very, very closely, and we want to thank you for the positive remarks about our nation. I want to thank all the participants, whether you are seated on the high table or seated in the auditorium. Each one of you has made a very big contribution to this meeting. I want to thank you for your patience that we have sat in this room and there was very little movement other than just the secretariat and photographers. Everybody concentrated on the meeting, and that shows the importance which you attached to this meeting. I want to call upon the members who have attended this meeting as observers, that let this be the last time you attend as observers. We want to see a bigger body. The bigger we are, the stronger and the more effective we'll be. So I want to see more people next time attending as members instead of observers. So we are looking forward to seeing many of you joining as members of this organization. The Secretariat, you should work very hard and fast to come up with a new organization identity, taking in cognizance that we are now going to be a bigger body, bigger than the small 4. So we are going to be a bigger body, so work hard and fast to see that we come up with a new organization identity which is inclusive for all the members. As we have had, many of the members who have attended as observers have expressed interest in joining the organization, but they think they need to see an organization which goes just beyond the 4 original members. I want to thank the Secretariat for the job well done. Thank you very much. We have been able to organize a well-organized meeting, and we have been able to manage the time, much as we slept in about 30 minutes, and I think we have managed the time well. For everybody who has traveled into Entebbe, whether by road from Kampala to here, whether by air from wherever capital you came from, at the close of the meeting and the close of the day, I want to wish you a happy return home, but please don't return before you enjoy the cocktail in the evening. So I want to thank you again for coming, and I wish to each one of us a safe journey back home. Thank you very much. Thank you. Asante sana. Asante sana, everybody. Merci beaucoup. And I think I've done very well in the French. Thank you. And have a nice lunch. We are going to have the photo session first, then giving out of gifts, and then we go out and have the bigger photo session, and then off for lunch. Let's work on that, Secretariat. Let's move fast. Let's have what do we start with? Giving of gifts? Gifts first, okay. Let's give out the gifts first, then we have the photo sessions here. We move out for the big photo, and then we go for lunch. Honorable Ministers, as a tradition, these media people may want to have the original 4. They may need to have some interviews with you. So please, if they accost you, accord them that opportunity, or if they, and that will be out there, not in the room. Okay, Secretary, let's move fast.
We request the Honorable Marie Chantal, Minister of Trade, Transport and Tourism, Republic of Burundi. Honorable Okenda Senga Cherubin, Republic of Congo, Minister of Transport. Honorable Jacob Langabeza, Republic of Malawi, Minister of Transport and Public Works. Yes, we can keep it. Wait. Honorable Gerard Dejac, Minister of Transport, Republic of Seychelles. Honorable Madut Biaria, Minister of Transport, Republic of South Sudan. Honorable Mr. Jamer Sharu, Director General of the Ethiopian Maritime Authority, the proxy for the Minister of Transport, Federal Government Republic of Ethiopia. Mr. Krishna Lal Singh, Managing Director, Mauritius Shipping Corporation, and proxy to the Honorable Minister of Blue Economy, Marine Resources, Fisheries and Shipping, Republic of Mauritius. Oh, come on. Sorry.
We are missing out? I think we are very far away from.
Mr. Unite Mustafa, Director General, Mozambique Maritime Authority, and proxy to the Deputy Minister, Ministry of Transport and Communications, Republic of Mozambique. Okay. We'll move to the committees, the ISCOS committees. We request the PSs for Kenya, State Department of Shipping, Madam Nancy Karikitu. We advised Madam Nancy has stepped out for meeting. We request Mr. Waiswa Bagea, PS Uganda. Next is the PS's representative from the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Ali Puzi. Madam Irene Tembo, Zambia. We'll move to the technical committee, ISCOS. Mr. Maura, Kenya. Followed by Mr. Benon Kajuna, Uganda, and Mr. Kaambwa Ronald, Zambia. Engineer Kisaka for United Republic of Tanzania. Mr. Rukara, Uganda, Mr. George Rukara. We then request for the representatives of our partner institutions, Director General, Kenya Maritime Authority, Mr. Robert Joy, to follow, please. To be followed by the Director General Representative, TASAC, that is Tanzania, Mr. Degratius Mukasa. To be followed by Mr. Eric Hamisi for Tanzania Port Authority. Thereafter, Captain Ruto, Kenya Ports Authority. After Captain Ruto, we request Mr. Justice Nyarandi, Northern Corridor. Lake Tanganyika Authority, Mr. Kibwisa Liwali, representing the SP. Then East Africa Community, representing the SP, Mr. James Kivuva. Lapsset Corridor Development Authority, Mr. Norman Murawa. East African Business Council, Mr. Liboto Emmanuel, followed by Shippers Council of East Africa, Mr. Gilbert Langat. Followed by Uganda Shippers Council, Mr. Charles Kareba. African Union of Shippers Council representative, Lillian Giscard. Kentrade, Mr. David Garama. Of East African Trade Forwarders. Representative of Kasita, Uganda Clearing Industry and Forwarding Association. Zambia Cargo and Logistics Zamcargo, and LMC for Republic of Congo. Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda, Pensions Insurance Regulatory Authority of Zambia, Uganda Insurance Association, Burundi Port and Maritime Authority, Port of Bujumbura. I think we're done. LMC. Yes. Thank you.